Thanks for having me. Sorry about the delay. I got a phone call from the boss, and when the boss calls you, you answer. So, I apologize for that. So, I brought some goodies, some materials that our Bureau produces. How many of you have heard of or knew that the Attorney General had a Military and Veterans Rights Bureau?
Did not know that.
Yeah, it's one? Yep. All right, awesome. Two? Excellent. That's good. That's better than what we usually do. So we're getting the word out. That's good. So yeah, we have, the Bureau was started in the 80s by a Medal of Honor recipient. And it's been around, so it's been around in the 80s, so it's gone through some transition. Today it consists of 2 lawyers, myself and my counterpart who operates out of the Chicago office, Grant Swinger. We are both veterans, we're both trained military lawyers, which is helpful in this job. And so the Military and Veterans Rights Bureau, I have a little information I'm going to pass out to you here. Where's that other box? Right here. We have a little summary sheet. Maybe that sort of explains, summarizes what the Bureau does and what we do. And pass that out because that's the best information for that. It's not here. Did you already pass around? It's a blue, 1-page blue sheet.
Well, just
here it is.
Rest assured, if we're missing, we're going to blame Brad anyway.
Here it is. So yeah, you can pass this around. So this is a little summary sheet about our Bureau and in our areas and what we work on. We have, on the Attorney General's website, we have our own webpage, and that webpage has all the materials that we produce, including this brochure. So the best way to get there, you can, if you go to the Attorney General website, it sometimes is a little tricky navigating the website and getting to the page. I cheat by just Googling Illinois Attorney General Military, and it's the first link that pops up. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of go down this blue sheet a little bit and talk a little bit about each of these areas that we work on for the Attorney General. The first one is outreach. That's why I'm here today. This is one of the things we do in terms of outreach. The other thing we do is we publish books for veterans and service members. One of them is passed around. That's the service member book. And pretty good sized book. And then we also have one specifically for veterans. So this is, you can think of this as kind of like the benefits book, and that's like service member rights book. There is some crossover because you also have service members who actually are veterans in the sense that they qualify for certain benefits. So the good thing about this book is that it also includes state benefits. Right? So if you get the VA book, it's mainly federal benefits. This includes the federal and state benefits. And then we have a series of brochures that we also produce, and I brought some. Line of Duty Compensation Act, consumer alerts for veterans. We do a lot of consumer stuff for vets. Hiring and promotion within state government. Deals with veterans' preference in hiring and promotion and that kind of stuff. And the Illinois Family Military Leave Act. And then the other one that's in this box is our latest one. And it is Veterans and Traumatic Stress. So it's like resources for the veteran, for family members, that kind of thing. So another part of the outreach is that we also have a hotline. So it's and I have cards here I can pass out that have the hotline number on it. But essentially, veteran, service member, family member, thanks Brad. They call the hotline. When you call, either I or Grant answer, right? So you get an attorney on the phone, and then you could call for just about anything. We don't have any limitations, though we can't always help with every issue. If we can't help, we'll tell you we can't help, or we'll tell you where to go. Or, chances are we're tapped into the resource that you need, like the Veterans Assistance Commission. We say, well, you need to go to the Veterans Assistance Commission. This is an issue for a veteran service officer. Or this is a Department of Defense VA Inspector General issue, that kind of thing. And so it's informative and helpful. And if it's an issue that dealing with the law that we enforce, then we will take what's called a request for assistance form. We have requests for assistance forms that they'll fill out. It's also on that webpage. And based on that form, we will attempt to figure out what we can do. And if there's something we can do, then we do it. Try to help out. So it's a great resource. Another thing we do, advocacy and mediation. Again, this kind of goes back to some of the requests for assistance that are filed with our office. We have sent people letters. We have contacted attorneys for organizations. We do a lot of that stuff. In particular, in the areas of consumer and service member employment. I specialize more in service member employment, and my counterpart, Grant Swinger, specializes more in consumer. A big consumer issue right now that we're dealing with is pension poaching. Everybody heard of that? So pension poaching, the VA benefits, it's a source of benefits, a source of income, whether it's a service-connected disability or a pension. And with that comes scams. And with that comes opportunity for somebody to try and take advantage of the veteran in an attempt to access or get access to the money or the benefit. And so we deal a lot with that stuff. Service member employment, that's primarily members of the Guard and Reserve who go off of military duty, take military leave, and then come back and they're having employment problems. Maybe they were demoted, not given their job back, or in the case of full-time public employees, they might be entitled to what's called differential pay or concurrent compensation, and we help them recover that and make sure that their employer is compliant. To that extent, we just introduced a bill into the General Assembly that would be our version, the state version of the Uniformed Services Employment and Reemployment Rights Act, or USERRA. So we hope that we can get that bill through and it becomes law, and it will do a much better job of providing protections for service members under Illinois law than is currently provided. Specialized policy support. We review service member and veterans bills, go through the General Assembly, and provide input to the Attorney General, in some cases the state representative that may be introducing or sponsoring the bill. And then enforcement, I touched on a little bit, particularly in the area of service member employment and consumer, but those aren't the only areas, those are just the main areas. So that covers the blue sheet that you got there.